Hi and welcome to the Racing Post video forum. We're discussing the championship now, 2008-2009, and I'll start with Mark Langdon. Mark, who's your fancy for the championship this year?
Well, I think it's a wide open division. There are at least 10, 12 possible winners, but the two I'd sort of throw into the mix would be Norwich, about 33-1. If Glen Roeder wasn't there, I'd be even more confident, but they have signed quite well this summer. And the other one is Wolves. I thought that they were a little bit unlucky to miss out on the playoffs last season. They've got Jarvis and Kitely fit. Got a great goalkeeper in Hennessy, and up front they've got last year's top goal scorer Banks Blake in the ranks with Iwalumo up front. So there's a lot to like about Wolves at sort of around about the 14-1 mark. So
what's the clue with Norwich?
Well, I mean, they've signed some very good players. Houlihan's come in, you've got Luke Poley on loan. He's used his contacts very well to sort of get a lot of loan signings in. Glen Roeder is very good with young players, and he might just be able to get the best out of them, but he still has got question marks over him, hasn't he? But at 33-1, you know, it's probably a price worth backing small each way. He
gave us an exclusive interview last week. I think that'll be the last one we ever get out of him. Ian, who do you like?
Like Mark, I like Wolves. I think it's key that if you have, you need two strikers who can launch a promotion bid from there, and if Chris Iwalumo and Banks Blake, I think they've certainly got that. A couple of outsiders, I'll be interested to see how Derby get on this year. I think Paul Jewell's gone there for a reason. Obviously last season the job was completed before it actually got there, but they've brought in a lot of new players, and I think people could write them off a little bit easily. And I expect Forest to have a good season as well. I think they'll get in the top six. They've got some significant financial backing there. They've brought Robert Earnshaw, who's always been a good striker at this level. So I'd expect them, you know, they're worth an each way poker.
OK, Dale Tempest of Sky Bet. Where has the money been going and where should it be going if you haven't had a bet yet?
The best money so far has been at Sheffield United. Good end to last season. We were 16s, 14s, now into 11s. It's probably one of our worst results on most of the books. The one thing I would say, you're relying on James Beattie's fitness. You know, if Beattie was guaranteed he's going to get you 40-odd games, you know you've probably got 25 goals there minimum. Question marks about his knees, this, that and the other. I think if he was fully fit, he'd have moved on to a Premiership side by now, and that would be my big negative for Sheffield United more than anything. Can't have QPR, way too short at 6-1. Yes, they might spend some money, but I've not seen it as yet. Question marks already about Dowie, we're getting into the season. Birmingham for me, don't see any negatives there. Carsley's a fantastic signing. Kevin Phillips, top scorer last year, obviously at West Brom, couldn't get the contract sorted. You know, he looked as fit and as sharp in the penalty area as anybody in that division. He's got Cameron Jerome, O'Connor around him, so many positives there. Yeah, at sixes, I think they're probably the best bet for me.
Good stuff. And for you, Tony Cascarino?
Yeah, I like Reading. I think that they ran away with it last time they were in the Championship. I think Lita could get a lot of goals. He could bounce back from a nothing season last year. Doyle alongside him, I think that's a level for him that he'll get goals. I like Birmingham, I'm a bit like Dow. I think they'll be really hard to beat. And they've also added Marcus Bent to their forward line, so they've got goals. And if you're looking for a team to challenge in the Championship, even going back to when I was me and Teddy playing up front for Millwall, the team, so many Championship teams have won with partnerships and players, and I look at Reading and like them. Like Ipswich, especially at home, just don't know away from home. They must improve. Magilton's a young manager that's quite ambitious. So I think out of the outsiders, they might be my one for me.
It's a fascinating division this year, because for me, and I think for all of us here, QPR make the book really. They're taking about 14% out of it, and you know, on the evidence of what? A big chequebook among the owner. There's no players out there. Who else will struggle this year, Mark? I've got a massive negative for Watford. What about you?
Well, Watford are the ones that everybody's been backing to go down, and you can see why. They're just, all of their good players are departing and nobody's coming in, which is a recipe for disaster. They've been on the slide ever since Birkinshaw left as assistant manager. They've been going backwards since the day he walked out because of family sort of issues. So for me, Boothroyd has been found out, and Watford to go down for me.
Any other relegation fancies quickly for you, Ian?
Not really, I can only concur with Mark really. I think the Hornets are in deep trouble, and there's value in there to backing them to go down. Boothroyd seems to I don't know whether he's had enough or not. There's rows going on, and I can't see him doing anything this season.
Blackpool at 15-8 bet for me to go down. Manager said in the papers at the weekend he'd settle for staying up the last day of the season again. That's his ambition. And to be fair to him, you know, he's got nothing. Every time you see the pictures there, they don't even build the ground, do they? There's only about two sides to it. So I think negative for Blackburn. We must mention Swansea. I think Swansea could be one of those sides that perform well. Great young manager. way better than League One last year, but played good football. Jason Scotland always looked a good player, and I don't think they'll have a problem with this transition. I can't have Forest. Although the people will be backing them just because they get big crowds every week. And the one other, Palace, you can't forget them. Bristol City finished 4th, they're 20-1. This is such an open league. It really is tough, but I agree with you. QPR make the book because they're just so short, so you can have 2 or 3 sort of each way bets and get some value there.
Good stuff. Tony?
Don't like Charlton. I think the way they fell away at the end of the season, I think Alan Pardew's finding it very difficult there. I think out of the teams that might go down, I think Southampton. I look at them and I think they've, got rid of another manager, no money available, lots of youth. They could easily fall down another tier for me in football.
There you go, that's the Wide Open Championship. Lots of issues at the top and the bottom. Whoever you back, good luck.